Hi everybody, today is Saturday, July 30th, 2022. I cannot believe it's already the end of July.
Where does the time go?
I know.
Oh.
And today we're bringing you the much anticipated, long-awaited episode number 4 of Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. I'm Jane.
And I'm Julie. And we have to make a pact never to go 2 weeks without seeing each other. There is so much that's going to take place today. We're really excited.
Action-packed, baby.
And we want to introduce a new part of our video experience.
Big announcement.
It is going to be delightful. Oh no, I forgot.
Details.
Delightful details.
First time in my life I'll be associated with something that's a double D.
Delightful details. It will be short, technical, instructional videos that we will post on our off weeks. And they will be, it could be the buttonhole stitch, it could be a specialty sampler stitch, the rice stitch, perfect picot, ruching.
How to fix cutting disasters, courtesy of Jane.
But ruching, because maybe not everybody is as obsessed with ruching as I am. Beading, finishing, mounting techniques of needlework.
A plethora of delightful details.
Yeah, so what you'll want to do is like and subscribe, and if you hit the bell, I believe that will notify you when these have been posted.
You'll get a magic email.
Yep. And then when we do an episode, they will be linked in the comments below if there were any prior to our episode. So as much as we're doing this without a list, sort of, kinda.
Yeah, still kind of.
But there is a list because we just have so much to cover.
Buckle your seatbelts.
Yep, and hydrate. We must stay hydrated.
Maybe pull out one of your whips.
Yes, to work on.
Yeah, whip it good.
Okay, so Jane, you were gone for a week at the cabin, and even though you were at the cabin, you were still working
remotely. The magic of technology. It's a wonderful thing to have somebody say to you, I don't care where you are as long as your work gets done.
Yeah. So it was the same stressful circus, but with a different view, right?
Yeah, there is something calming about being near the water.
Yeah.
So when I felt like homicidal feelings raging, I just looked out the window at the water and I thought, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yep.
You can do it.
So, show me what you worked on, please.
Okay, thank you for asking. Okay, I have to get this big
bag.
A big old bag of things. Okay. I guess I should have pulled these out ahead of time, but I did not, so I will do the best I can.
Because she was working on them last night. So
yeah,
I heard.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, you dropped something.
Oh, boy. Okay, so I did a little more work on all through the night, Christmas tree. And this is my progress. I did a little more work down here on this side and extended this branch a little bit. I really like it. The fabric and the silk are our dream to work with. It's just a very busy, dense pattern, so you have to pay a bit of attention. And some nights I'm a better student than others, and pay attention in other nights.
Well, and didn't you say it's hard with your brain to find a good stopping point when one little treasure motif hooks to another, and then you feel, oh, well, I'll just finish this, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, no, I just really have to stop.
I think you could have stopped with, isn't it hard with your brain? Pretty, a more accurate statement. And then I have, I was going through the bush baskets, as I refer to them, and I came across a long lost whip that I pulled out. This is Harvest Scissor Fob by Shepherd's Bush.
Very nice.
And this is my, well here, let's use this magic board. I almost grabbed the paper towel. This is my progress. So this is the front of the scissor fob. I think all I really have left is some back stitching. And then I need to, on the same piece of fabric, I just need to start the back, which is a few pumpkins. And what does the saying say? Autumn.
Very simplistic, but meaningful.
Yeah, and an easy stitch. This is breaking all of the shepherd's bush rules because this is on 32 count linen, 2 strands.
Scandalous.
Scandalous. So
and your world is scandalous, and mine is normal.
And then I don't know what happened this week, but I actually have 3 starts. Because I hope you're all sitting down. They're all 3 shepherd's bush.
But they're so cool. She texted me and go, "Oh man, did I find one that I forgot I bought in the year
2009 or whatever it was?"
And so we had to get that.
So I started.
Yep, that's what we did yesterday. We scroll barred and
Julie plugged in my iron.
Oh my God. She ironed.
No, I didn't iron.
I ironed.
I didn't iron.
She supervised.
Yes, I supervised. This one is called Come Terry. I am obsessed with this.
Yeah.
But it quickly turned from a delightful design to a delirious design because I have colors that I can't identify. I have no idea what they are. They don't match the color key, number of strands, whatever. So, no idea.
Being original.
Well, I'm going to pull out my box of leftovers. I keep a box of leftover silk from Shepherd's Bush kits, and I think I probably have some. And if I can pull those out, I'll be able to tell maybe what the colors are.
Well, it was to the point where one man's hunter green is another man's charcoal, is another man's dark gray, soft black. I'm like, we were looking at him going, "You've got to be kidding me."
Yeah, it was quite an ordeal. But this is opposite. This is Come Terry. I'm speechless.
It is so very pretty.
Beautiful. And the colors.
What fabric?
This is 32 count hand dyed dark espresso linen. And let me show you the colors. I'm sorry, you guys. I thought I was so organized because they all lived in. They all.
I mean, I thought you were.
Was that a dig?
No, but yesterday we pulled all these and labeled all of them. And
I know.
We've had a rough morning start, although we had great technical support.
We did have good technical support this morning.
With cute backup as Bella came with. So.
Here are the colors.
Oh,
they're just beautiful.
They are.
Yeah.
So
even though I don't know what some of them are, they're still beautiful. So
now I know we had discussed talking about this during one of my little Shepherd's Bush things, but why don't you tell us about the
floss dropping things?
Usually the Shepherd's Bush sends a cardboard heart with holes in it, which she gave me several of them so I could be part of the group.
Yeah.
But tell them about those because they're really intriguing.
I always worried about with the silk with the cardboard hearts that you take the little hanks on and off so much, and the cardboard had sharper edges. I think the floss drop exchange that's going on is beautiful. I'm amazed at some of those floss drops. I wouldn't be able to punch holes in them once I created or somebody sent them to me. So I found these clear acrylic floss drops on Etsy, and they're very nice. They come with a hole to put your ring through, and then a hole for your length of floss, and then there is a tiny little hole here so that if you didn't use an entire length,
I wondered if that's what that was for.
You can put it in there. And I love them. I will link the Etsy shop. I think it's GW Stitching Depot, but I'll link the Etsy shop below. You can buy them in quantities of 10. You can buy up to 200 at a time. If you want to, they're very reasonably priced. I just take labels and cut them down and write the colors on them in tiny little
with
print.
her font-like printing.
Of course. So that's...
And they also come in bobbins.
Yes, so I made a key decision last week that my overdyed floss cotton is out of control. And so I've made the decision that I'm going to bobbinate my overdyed cotton. So I ordered from her. They're like the regular cardboard or plastic bobbins, but they're the clear acrylic.
Yeah.
I figure it's fancy floss. It might as well be fancy bobbins.
Yeah. I can't believe that decision had to been made maybe with pie or without pie, because that sounds like a tremendous...
No pie.
No pie. That sounds like a tremendous job to do.
I'm sure there will be M&Ms involved.
Well, and pie season is just around the corner.
It's just around the corner. Okay, and this is another one I'm obsessed with. This is The Journey by Shepherd's Bush.
Love that.
Yeah. And the verse is, take joy in the journey and the friends you find along the way. And I just thought that was great. And I have a very small start.
She texted me, how many stitches constitute a start?
I think it's
1.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I
think
like
it'll be
that.
great. I think it'll be a quick stitch.
Because it's with silk. That's quick. Yeah.
Another beautiful buckleberry quilt bag.
We had fun picking out bags for the new projects.
Yeah, they all had to have special homes.
I was in the bag
And then,
drawer.
last but not least, I found a new project to be homed in my Sagan Stitches project bag. And this is called My Earth. And it reminds me kind of almost like a little mini gather. I don't know how many of you are familiar, but Tina's designed big pieces, the earth gatherers, the herb gatherer, the wool gatherer, the toy gatherer, and I've stitched all of those, and this kind of reminds me of a little mini gatherer.
It's so cute.
And here is my progress.
Love it.
Yep, she has part of a dress and a little backpack. So I look forward to doing it, but I have all the respect in the world for those of you that have a lot of whips, because I think this is the most I've ever had in progress at the same time, and I'm stressed about it.
You told me it's glorious. Start a whole bunch of them. And now you're kind of like...
Right, I meant for you to start a whole bunch of them, not...
So I can be stressed, you just don't want to be?
Well, maybe you wouldn't find it.
Well, I do as
stressful.
well, but I'm enjoying it. But
I do think it'll be nice when you sit down at night to stitch, to think like, what am I in the mood for, and then just pick from
to me, it's pie.
the pile.
We got so gypped last night, our pie didn't come, so... Oh, well, I got to get it out of my mind.
It was sad.
So...
We were pieless.
I'll tell you.
Okay, don't panic, everybody. I'm not going down permanently. I just dropped something on the floor. And I have to get it.
Did you catch it?
Oh, man.
Ah!
All right.
Okay.
And those are my whips.
Your whips?
What about you?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I have made some progress on something wicked I've been working on.
Oh, I love that.
And I was having trouble, with my hands. And I'm working on the long band. And I thought, I don't want it to get all wrinkly and crunchy. So I went down and looked through the Q Snap parts department and thought there's got to be something I can do. So what I did is I just took one elbow of it and I rolled it on and clamped it. And now when I'm working on it, so I did quite a few because I think I only had one letter. I can just hold it in this hand and it's not pinching. It's not a pinch craft. It's not even a grab craft. It's kind of like just a resting. And I find, I thought the elbow looked stupid, but it actually keeps it from sliding downward. So.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad I
could great idea.
Assemble that this way.
So the color of that fabric.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it is?
It's Cobblestone 32 count linen, and I'm using 2 strands of black. Because I want
coverage.
Coverage. Well, when you're putting it on a box, you're going to want more of a substantial look. So that's what I did. So I worked on that. And then, remember those, I gotta unzip this for a minute. I ordered those kits for Jane and I from Shepherd's Bush, the warm heart. No, I can't get it out of the bag. Warm heart. So we were going to do these together. Well, I cheated. I started without you. Sorry. But I had a quiet afternoon to myself, and I thought, okay, I'd like to start that.
I want to enter the world of silk.
Yeah.
I need some privacy to do that.
I know. So I sat there just trying to center myself, and I thought, WWJD. What would Jane do?
Oh, I was going to say Jesus cross-stitched? Awesome.
And I'm like, well, first off, she'd get a bag.
Yes.
So I went and got the bag that you gifted me, and the bag is from, you can hold that up.
Oh yeah,
from Dot Goose
on Etsy.
And then I made a working copy because I know you always do those.
Yes.
And then I took the heart you gave me and I transferred the symbols and separated the fibers. This has to go in your overstock because this one, as panicked as I was, only had the one silk. There was one silk, and then there were overdyes. Well, we're not there yet. It had overdyes. It had a pearl cotton number 12 that was used for the eyes. And then I had to get a hoop or Q snap. And so they didn't have a Q snap, so I got a hoop. So I thought I can do this, right? One strand over 2 on 30 count. Didn't like it. I didn't like, there was not enough coverage. So I'm like, all right, I was a little bent out of shape about that, but I'm going to do this. So I finished. I can't believe it was kind of hard. I thought, well, maybe I should wait for her, and then I thought, no. So I finished this darling little thing.
Oh, it's so
cute. It is, and I can't wait for it to be mounted on our
cute.
box. So the one strand, all right, the silk, this silk is so much better than the silks that were available in the 90s. I had a bad experience, sure. And so the silk didn't bother me like I thought it would. The one strand over 2 on 30 count did. So then I thought,
great.
Well, I'm just going to try. Remember Come Said the Wind by Glendon Place that I was going to start? That is 36 count. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to start that and try it with one strand. And if the one strand redeems itself, then I'll kind of back off on all the judgment I've put on myself about stitching with one strand and stitching with silk.
Judgment on yourself?
Yeah.
Or judgment on Jane?
Well, Jane, you're very encouraging in a very
passive aggressive
Seriously,
way.
You're not going to try it? What's wrong with you? Quote unquote.
Minnesota nice.
So I had to start kind of end a finish at the same time. So I did the Glendon place. I didn't bring it with because we really had to almost pick and choose what to do today, or we'd be here for 2 weeks doing the video.
Nobody wants that.
No.
It'll take a year to upload it.
Yeah. So I did stitch. I had to find the center of. I'm not real keen on the multiple page patterns.
Yeah, they can be kind of tough.
And
sometimes.
the center wasn't marked, so there was counting involved, which means math. The whole carry.
Yeah, we know how that worked last episode.
It just numbers in general throw me for some reason at my age. You know why? Because this year I'm an odd number old. Remember how I told you?
That's not a thing.
Yeah, it is. I do not like being 63. I thought I was enduring 63 with the year I had last year, and then found out that was
You had to repeat it.
an even number, and then I go, now I have to go through another odd year birthday.
No, I have an odd year every year.
Well,
That's how it works for me.
okay, so see now I have to
You have to check.
I have to check to make sure. I finished the shepherd's bush. I'm still working on this. I have in progress. I have Come Said the Wind, and according to my sheets, that's what I'm going to go with. I did start one more thing, but I'm going to explain that because it's got a coordinating finish. So that'll just be surprising.
Sounds fancy.
So,
well, there was one little tip that we wanted to give a shout out to. So we really do love reading your comments.
Oh, yes.
And I know I owe a few of you responses, and I promise I will get to those. But Pam, when Julie shared a couple episodes ago that she was up camping and had this great opportunity to stitch with her spotlight and didn't have a needle except for the very blunt, huge-eyed 22 count tapestry needle. Pam was kind enough to give the tip that she always keeps a couple of needles in her wallet. So Julie took you up on that, Pam, and created a couple of things to have in your wallet. So a few different size needles on felt.
A sharp and a beading.
Oh, even a sharp and a beading.
Yeah.
Bougie.
20, 24, 26, or 24, 26, 28 tapestries. And then a long, just in case a button falls off, if you happen to have anything with buttons anymore.
Yeah.
At our age, it's Velcro. But I thought that's was a great tip. Thanks,
Thank you, Pam.
Thanks.
Well, and I felt so bad, excuse me, that you were without a needle, that I thought you should have your very own needle book.
When I came yesterday, I go, oh, you have mail. She says,
Don't open it. It's a surprise.
Oh,
With the little
isn't
button.
that darling?
Yeah, and that is from
Yes, tell us where.
Sula's gift shop on Etsy, and I will also put a link to her shop in the description box.
Look at the button on the back and the little hand stitched. Oh, that is
She just does beautiful work.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now you can have one in each wallet.
Yes.
And you can have that in your stitching bag.
Yes.
And then you don't have to worry about whether or not you've taken them out of your actual work because you always have backup.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, that was unexpected. So now where we are in our program.
Well, I also wanted to call out a tip from Angela because she was commiserating when I was talking about my button graveyard and how I was never going to be able to find buttons. And she's like, why don't you just staple them to the pattern? And I was like, of course.
Well,
the problem in this house is I could never find the stapler because it is somehow missing along with the tape dispenser and the 3-hole punch. But we were in here and we were going through the bush baskets, marveling at how large the collection is. And we came across projects where the buttons were actually with the fabric and the fibers, and luckily the stapler was nearby. So I stapled. So Angela, thanks for the nudge.
Thank you.
In the right direction.
Yes.
So yeah.
Found the stapler and a great tip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Keep them coming.
Yes.
Don't be a tip hoarder.
No, we must share all our knowledge.
That's right.
That's right. Well, I think you do have some finishes.
I do have a couple of finishes. Mm-hmm. Yep. I do.
Because, I'm going to just say this, the other day when we were over, I actually got to see everything in the drawer.
Of no return.
Yep. We had it all out. Yep. And I'm like, oh, we have got to do something with this. We have to start doing something. So
yeah. So Melissa and Ms. Lee, you left comments on one of our last videos about you'd like to see what was in the secret drawer. Today's your day to get a small glimpse.
A small glimpse.
Yeah. But I do have a couple of current finishes.
Current, that's right.
I did another small heart of Shepherd's Bush. This one is called True Friend. And there is the finish.
Very pretty.
Very sweet. The heart is coal black, not unlike my heart.
And you thought it was green, so you were a little...
I did that.
She thought it was forest green, and she goes, I'm a little leery about starting this, but it actually was black.
And then when I saw black, I thought, it's perfect. That's so me. And then I did finish Life and Liberty.
Oh.
So there's my finish there.
In real life, the specialty stitches that are scattered throughout the piece just pop with texture.
They're a lot of fun.
And it is just, they don't fight with the tiny adorable buttons. They just make it all just pop. Yeah. I just really was impressed. She told me she finished, and I'm like, and she sent me a picture. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see that in real life.
Yeah,
and
take another good look before it goes in the drawer.
Oh, you're so sweet. You deserve more than the drawer. But
goodbye, buddy.
We'll rescue you. We'll rescue you.
And then somehow, when we were going through the drawer return the other day, Julie snuck one and took it home and plugged in her iron. Again, I did not iron. And brought this one back. And this was one of my all-time favorites to do. I think it's because of the...
Well, you were working on that one year when we were at the North Shore.
1973. This one is called Happy Haunting by Shepherd's Bush.
I saw that. First off, it was one that was done on such a
beautiful color.
Beautiful color. It caught my eye. So I'm like, well, what is this? And I unrolled it and I'm like, Jane, you have had this in your drawer for how many years? I said, I'm taking this. And she's, she's going, you don't have to iron it, but that brings, I've had a couple of challenging weeks myself, even though I don't work, so I found this, taking it, ironing it, doing the tissue roll and all of that, and that brought me some calmness and peace, and so I thought, I don't mind. She's like, you don't have to, and I'm like, no, I don't mind.
Well, I mean, if you're stressed, feel free to come over, and
like when
I'll show you where my iron is and my wool pressing pad, and
like that one day I came over and you were just winding up a meeting, and I didn't. I said, "Can I do your dishes?" And she's like, "No, just leave them."
Just leave them.
Can I just do them? I'm just having a day, and that's just what I need is. And my daughter will say that's my thing. I love to do dishes. So she's like, "Well, I'm not gonna say no." So yeah, I'm kind of odd that way, but.
So maybe when I have a sink full of dishes one day, I'll text you. Do you happen to be stressed today? The door's unlocked, and there's some ironing and dishes to do. This was my very first foray into pattern darning.
Oh.
This row right here is pattern darning.
It is just there's a little bone at the bottom, a tiny little bone button, and a little key. And I just thought it was darling.
Yeah, I love it.
Great finish.
Yeah, I love it. So, Melissa C. and Ms. Lee, that's for you.
That's just a tip. I'll roll it while you...
Okay, Well,
sorry. You've got an uneven surface, so, right? So you would have been struggling, and I don't want you to struggle.
I think that might be the name of my new band, Uneven Surface. That might be a good name for us.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tie the little gold organza bow. I am just...
Will you put it in the drawer then?
There's got to be... Well, no, we can't get out of here yet. So.
No, I mean before you go.
Oh, yeah.
They have to go in the drawer and they'll return
those two things as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
It all... You know where it goes. It all goes in there. Okay.
All right.
All right.
What else you got?
Oh, I had a delightful delivery of the Julie kind. And a few episodes, I think you remember, we showed all my shepherd's bush, those tiny hearts that I did. Mm-hmm. And they were a lot of fun to stitch. But when Julie was talking about, maybe we should take this and do something with them, and I was like...
Well, it wasn't until you threw them in the drawer. That was episode 1.
Always.
So then you threw them back in the drawer, and then when we took everything out of the drawer, I said, we really need to do something with these. And you said, put them back in the drawer.
Yeah, just put them back in the drawer. They weren't my favorite. They were a great little therapeutic project. I mean, you could do a couple in a day. They didn't really take longer than an hour. And Julie said, do you trust me to take them and do something with them? And I was like, yeah, of course. I thought maybe she would cut them up or they would go down the garbage disposal or something.
Double stick tape to the fridge.
Well, that's why we have magnets.
Oh, that's right.
And then to my surprise, she came earlier this week with a blue box and said, I have something for you. And I lost my mind when I opened the box.
Oh, it was so much fun because I needed some diversion. So I just got lost in it. I just did. Be
prepared. I mean, don't be drinking any hot liquids or anything because you're going to lose.
Well, like I told you halfway through, I'm like, oh, what if she doesn't like this style of finishing? Then I'm like, oh.
I don't know.
So anyways, it was fun, and I enjoyed doing it for her.
Look at that. Is it focused? Yeah. This one is called Brave One. But look at that. Ruching and pearl buttons or pins on the top. And then this beautiful neutral fabric on the back.
The back kind of looks like little fireworks since it's kind of a 4th of July one.
What happened to the little blackboard? Did I take it?
Yeah, you've got it stacked with your stuff. God. But what was fun for me is it was a trip to the fabric store, going through all the fabrics, trying to find, the exact 5-inch piece of fabric I needed to do these. But I just really get off on that. It's fun.
I just didn't have the vision for it. I mean, that's another difference between me and Julie, if you're keeping track at home. I'm a pretty literal, like with my photography, I'm very out there.
Gorgeous.
And kind of visionary. And sometimes people will look at my work and go, it's beautiful, but I have no idea what it is. I mean, I can see out. I'm not a literal photographer. But when it comes to needlework, Hardanger, and cross stitch, I'm very literal. So the way it looks on the picture is the way it's going to look when it's finished. I don't have a lot of creativity that way. And Julie just is mind-blowingly talented.
Well, when I cross stitch or design something, it's got to make sense to the stitcher. So because I was a stitcher first. Oh, that one was really fun too.
Be true.
And that's got pearls all the way around it. I will have a tutorial on how to do pearls on that because it is a really fun technique to get them. And dental floss is involved.
Is it mint?
Yeah, minty. Smell. Oh.
That was a trick. And then look at this one, Sweet Pea. I can't tell if it's in focus.
No, it is, yeah.
With the coral ruching, coral kind of pink ruching on the top. And this beautiful purple textured fabric.
Kind of like a gauze.
On the back.
That was in the wedding aisle of fabric. It was kind of fun. It was all over the fabric store.
Oh, it's just amazing. And then Take Heart.
That one I finished different on the back I'm going to put a magnet. So I put a cardboard disc to glue to cover up my lacing. And then I'll put a magnet on that because we have another way of finishing coming up in the next episode.
Black beads.
Shaky hand was kind of a challenge on that day.
Well, here you combined pinch and grab crafts.
Oh, but it was so much fun, and it brought me a lot of joy because I knew I was doing them with you.
It was just amazing.
Or for you.
Sweetheart.
That's the one thing, as you can tell, I like ruching. But you can cluster the ruching, or you can stick pins in it. This happens to be a bead, a little seed bead with a sequins pin because I didn't have a bead or a pin head to match that.
Beautiful.
So, but what I thought is when I go thrift storing, I could get a glass dish because I asked if she had a glass dish, a little shallow bowl.
And like a pickle bowl? Is that what you mean? My grandma's cut crystal pickle olive tree?
She goes like the one I used in 1986 for Thanksgiving. So, I've been looking and I haven't found the perfect one yet, but we could nestle those in a little crystal bowl for on your shelf.
And then, okay, another mind blower. I'm first going to show you this. This is Be Happy.
That is satin ribbon. The others are
beautiful.
Silk.
But then, look.
I didn't. It's on a ball, wide mouth ball jar. And I actually just put a magnet on the top of it because I used metal mounting forms because I wasn't sure if you'd like that. So before I adhered it permanently, I thought I better have you see if you liked it. And
it's just amazing.
And she did.
Oh, another place for candy. Another place for candy.
M&M's.
And then as if that wasn't delicious enough, again, magic on its own.
That's the one you weren't sure about with the green.
I wasn't sure about the green.
And then I have a magnet on the top because...
But then, here's where the magic gets even... Look at that.
A little petite scissor will stick because of the magnet.
Amazing. And then there's another beautiful...
You can leave it. I think it'll stay in if you just hold it up.
Nugget inside.
That's ruched with a dark green. I had lime green and I had a bright pink. But I know you were a little not quite sure about the dynamics of the green.
It was a lot of
of green. So I thought I'll get your opinion on that. And so I just patted that, a little cardboard disc, and then ruched around it and it filled in the spacing. So.
Oh, so many treasures.
It was fun. Now that one I could have ruched around the outside, but you said you preferred it plain.
I like it plain.
That's why I didn't.
That's me, just plain Jane.
That's right.
That's how I'm known on Instagram. Just plain Jane. And then this one was like, this one sent me over the edge. So look at this. For a friend.
That one was smaller. I mounted it on a larger. This larger disc, and it got lost. So I had a smaller disc, and I put it on. I thought we could just have a little smaller one in the glass dish. And I was going to get the magnets, and I opened up my big metal cabinet I had, and there were those spools. I had been eyeing those at Michael's 6 years ago or whatever, and because I wanted it for the wooden spool to paint, to use in my displays and stuff at home. And so I waited till they got down. I think they were like $237 or something, and I bought them, but it had this velvet wrap on it, strips of yardage of velvet ribbon, I guess. And I thought, well, that's not my color, But
it is a shepherd's bush Jane color.
And when I opened up the cabinet, it hit me at eye level, and I'm like, oh my gosh, could that fit? And when I put it on top, I actually said out loud, brilliant! This would be so cool. So
it's all brilliant.
I fake stitched with matching thread in the buttonholes because I wasn't going to try to, get them stitched on. So I fake stitched. And then I glued them on.
Fake stitch.
Glued them on so they look like they're stitched. But it was so much fun.
I was speechless. I mean, so like I said, so much talent and vision in one body. And then the fact that you would do that for me.
Yeah, I would.
Thank you.
They did not.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They could not sit in the drawer forever. And I'm just glad.
Well, they couldn't.
And
other things will.
But the fun thing is it kept my mind busy and my creative, juices were flowing, which I thought when I retired, I'd no longer be thinking of things to design to teach as a class and, no longer charting. Yeah. So this really gave me an outlet to do that. So it was my pleasure.
And now I have beautiful things. If the room ever is painted something other than this hideous color of purple, the idea would be to make better use of the space in here and then display some of the pretty things that I have hidden away.
And we have quite the vision for this room.
She has quite the vision.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. And then, like you said, she'll get to put some Hardanger doilies down and some pickle dishes down and some books. It'll be fun. It will be fun. Can't wait.
It'll be like having a grown-up room. I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Yeah.
It'll be
well,
really
we
nice.
all need a little oasis to get away to, don't we?
Yeah.
I think so.
Especially if it has candy in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's got to be that. So, let's see. Do you have anything more?
I don't think so.
So that now I get to...
You get to show all your wonderful
finishes.
I'm
so overwhelmed that I had to...
She's a little verklempt.
I am. Well, I have a big list here in black Sharpie. Okay. Remember Garland Fair?
Yes.
Well, I was a little surprised that the seine was over one with one strand.
On 32 count?
On 32 count. And I'm like, I have got to pay closer attention to that. So it came to the point where I had to do the over one. So here it is. It's on, am I okay? I can't see if I'm, it's on 32 count Country Vintage Mocha with Cayenne weeks over dyed. And then the seine is over one. And I've been having some real bad vision days. Yeah, take a look. So I'm like,
full cross.
Yeah, full crosses. Yeah. And the S's were charted different with each time they were used. Oh. So it's through my count off. And I'm like, I told Tom one night, this is just excruciating. I said, I would sooner carve this seine in my upper thigh with a dull needle.
With your 22 count tapestry needle.
That's
always
this.
On hand.
I'm like, why can't I count? They're 5 stitches high. I can't count to 5 and the spacing, but I did finish it. But
so
I'm like,
when do you start your 40 count? With silk then, no.
Well, not if it's
remember, the gauntlet's thrown down.
Mm-mm. So what this did is, remember the Come Said the Wind?
Yeah.
By Glendon Place.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the one. That was with the 36 count with one strand. So see, I'm mixed up because I'm not watching my list here.
I thought the Glendon Place Come Said the Wind, the entire verse was
Thank you. See, I'm glad I complained
to you. 1 over 1.
I complained to you.
36 count.
I did complain to you numerous times, so thanks for getting me back on my rant track. Because I'm like, I'm getting this all set up to see if I want 36 count using one strand over 2 I thought that's okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
That'll look great.
So as I'm counting up to find the center on this multi-page pattern, I noticed that the saying was charted in the same dot of floss color as what I was using, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the heck? You have got to be flipping kidding me. And I texted her with vengeance saying,
it was in all caps.
the saying in Come Said the Wind is over 1 on 36 count. So I said, you know what?
It's too good. I tried to be sympathetic.
And she goes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the piece, but I think I'm just going to type out the verse.
Just hot glue gun it on.
I'm like, I don't think I can do this. So it's
part of me was like,
I'm like, what? The over 1 gods are just like taunting me. Not fun.
I have to say, I think that might be tough even for me, 36 count over 1.
Yeah, because there are holes in the fabric because Tom checked, but
you
holy
couldn't
crap.
see them at
I'm
the time.
sorry, I shouldn't use a version of a nice naughty word, but so now I want to show you, like, you're not going to really feel sorry for me after that, but I had this should have been in my whips, but it kind of goes hand in hand with a previous finish. So it's kind of like I'm jumping all around because, you know, I don't have a script. So, okay, I had taken a stitching weekend in, I think New York with some friends. And we went to this cross stitch shop that was amazing. And they had the Hawk Run Hollow Carriage House Samplings. Carriage House Samplings had a trunk show. And I saw this finished on the wall, and I'm like you with your Come Terry.
Mm-hmm.
I was obsessed. I was pacing, and I'm like, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. So I bought Hawk Run Spring.
Amazing.
And I bought the Autumn because, you know, why not?
So, wait a minute.
What? That's just a small.
Okay,
no, it was
guys.
not over 1.
Okay, you guys. We can't show it. Okay, wait, maybe. Okay, I'm looking at the pattern, and I
Look at the tiny chart.
and I see this.
Look at how tiny.
And I'm thinking, you will be blind. You'll be able to do over 1 on 52 count if you can read this.
All it is a reduced chart so you can see the layout.
The placement?
The placement of the squares.
I almost had an aneurysm there.
Well, so, okay, so now you can have an aneurysm because it took me a long time to finish this, and it's been finished for quite a while. But I did the Autumn, and it is, I don't know how we want to even show this. We're going to need your bigger board because I'm not standing.
I
know
know.
that one there.
I was going to say.
So we can just kind of drape it, like maybe like this.
Oh,
So this is on 32 count using 2 strands of, okay, I talk a little bit about this. It was charted and the model was stitched in needlepoint silks, which you know how I feel about them now. Just think of what the option.
Hashtag bankruptcy.
Well, and I wasn't going to do that even 7 years ago when I bought this. I'm like, I can't spend that kind of money. And so I did a DMC conversion. But where there were big areas like the pond or a building or a tree trunk, then I pulled the DMC conversion color and I matched Weeks or Dye Works or sampler thread. So I did have a little, did have a little diversion of that. But I don't know if you want to can you see it if I just start to unroll it? Am I on point?
Well, here.
Or how?
This way they can see you if you're going to talk about it.
So, yeah, it's tens of thousands of stitches because each of the 12 squares are very heavy with stitching. They're not full coverage, but they're darn near
Lord,
close.
I would have stopped at this one.
Yeah.
Holy Hannah.
Yeah. And so it was unbelievable. So a friend of mine who was with the trip also, Bev, she stitched hers and she made hers into a bell pull. Well, I didn't want to do a bell pull, so I went to my guy and I had not one, but 2 frames made. So now I have to do the spring because I've got a frame for it. So, and I've got one wall that's empty in my house, and that's where these are going to go. So that's Hawk, Run, Hollow, Autumn, and then I've got the spring. And I have it on the scroll rods, and I've got the first stitch pinned where it's going to go, but I couldn't bring it because technically it's not a start if it doesn't have a stitch in it. So, but this needs to be framed. I've got the frames. It's just a matter, and I've got to do it before I totally lose all pinch and grab abilities because it's just.
And do you remember approximately how long it took you to finish it?
Yeah, a long time. Because it's not something, it's very intense, you know.
Well, and some of the blocks are practically full coverage.
Yeah. Well, and I had it set up downstairs in our family room, so I only stitched on it when we were down there, which was fine, you know, in the winter.
And did you use like a lap stand or a floor stand? I
used a floor stand with the scroll bars. Okay. And, you know, once I was in position with my cool refreshing beverage, my this, my that, I had a TV tray that had the floss box. You made a commitment to be there for a while.
Right, it was an event.
Yeah, you are going down to stitch on Hawk Run Hollow.
I don't have any words.
I love it, and
when you frame it, are you going to pin it or lace it?
I do both. I pin it and I lace the back. That's how I was taught. I only remove the pins when it's going to be like ruched or something. I don't know, this may take every pin I own to stretch it, for Pete's sake.
Yeah,
I don't know how...
I've never laced. All the things I've framed, I've just pinned.
Oh, really? Well, some of my smaller ones, I guess I will, and then use the acid-free tape to tape down the edges a little. I don't know, I guess I've just always done it that way. I don't know.
Another difference between me and Julie. Lacer, not a lacer.
Well, you're not a loser. You're just a pinner. You're an L for lacer. No, you're a pinner. Oh, let's move on. All right, so now I do have, and I don't know how you say this, so you're going to have to be my translator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to put it up because there's no way. I saw these at a show. They were Christmas ones and Halloween ones. I bought them both. But these are so
how cute.
Adorable. Is that focusing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. They
are so cute. Adorable. And the thing is I don't care to stitch people. So that was the 2 little girls. Darling, and then, so ask me why I even did this. I don't care for cats. So it's like, well, what's left? Okay, now I've got a feeling, so somebody please be on my side. I decided to do these, and I'm going to blame it on the pandemic. I did them on, I can't even bring myself to say it. I did them on 30 count over 1. What was I thinking? It was the pandemic. I didn't know. I couldn't be held accountable. So he is just adorable.
Oh.
And then, oh my God, for not caring for...
Oh my God, full crosses.
Well, am I not supposed to do full crosses?
I don't know if you would be like tent stitching or what you would be doing.
Well, it was tense. I don't know about tent. But look at that. And I saw these, and I'm like, I did those? Was I delirious?
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, I gotta get the right side up. Yeah, it's 30 count, or were they 29 count? I think they're Glenchy. It's very dense. And I wanted something very dense because of all of the thread.
Yeah.
You know, but look at him. Oh, let me shake him again. He's not in focus. And you've got to see him. There he is. Oh my gosh, is he not cute?
He's so cute.
So.
They're all amazing.
So they were really fun. As I recall, they were fun.
It looks like you have a few more to
I'm
do.
not going to do all 6 of them. But I don't know how I'm going to finish them. Well, I kind of do. Of course, there's going to be black and orange beads and
maybe some ribbon.
Some ruching. I hope I'm not the only one that likes ruching.
I love it. I just don't know how to do it.
Well,
so
that's going to be one of our
delightful details.
That's right.
Oh.
Okay, so.
I had forgotten about those.
Yeah. All right, so, geez, I'm kind of got a lot here. Okay, so I have a finish.
Is that what I think it is?
Yes. My wood guy is on the mend. He was able to cut. So I'm like, I was giving him some time. I was watching him. I'm like, well, he's got
I have to take
he's got
a
pull over his head shirt on, not button up anymore, so he at least could get his arm up to get in the sleeve. And then I'm like,
you're pushing him out to the wood shop.
No,
get your arm in there. You can cut wood.
I'm just kind of monitoring his progress. Like, oh well, he was filling the bird feeders, so it can't be that bad, And then all of a sudden I thought, I really need you to cut this piece of wood because I've got to finish this. Yeah. I've just got to finish it. So I did. So, oh, okay, I'll turn it around. He cut me a custom piece of wood as a cutting board this way. Because that's kind of like what is the fad. But I wanted it to be, and I had to have the whoosh. I have to have the swooshing. Oh my God. And then I thought, well, I don't want to put jute around it because, when I was at the store looking for all the fabric for your finishes, I found myself in the yarn department. So when you can't find the trim you want, you just crochet your own.
You just make your own.
Yeah, so I crocheted it, and if you could all see up the
I just pulled another craft out of my
so what I
arsenal, and I crocheted it. It wasn't that big a deal.
So I didn't use the chain. I just made a chain. So I didn't use the chain edge. I actually turned it over for the back side of the chain edge. So anyways, and then I thought, well, we could put it on because this is for you.
No.
Yeah. So I thought we could put it on your bookshelf, but I didn't know the height, if it would fit, and if we had it on a stand. So, but I did buy this brown, just this brown micro check ribbon, and I didn't know if we could put it, make a loop and a bow or something. I didn't want to...
You mean like you could make a loop and a bow?
Oh, yeah.
I can't even tie my own shoes.
But I didn't know if that, if you did something, I didn't know if that would look...
Like too much?
Too much. So, I don't know. But I do have ribbon.
Oh, my God.
And then, yeah. There you go, Miss G. Isn't that just...
Thank
I had
you.
so much fun because when I saw that I even had the pattern.
And the fact that you stitched this with 22 count tapestry needle.
Makes it all the sweeter.
Makes it all more special. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's wrap it back up so we don't spill our water on it. And I believe
the joy was fleeting. It's gone.
I believe is that I'm putting this up here because I don't want to clock it. Okay. I need to check my list because so you did not find yourself with any Hardanger.
I didn't make any progress on any Hardanger. So number of additional eyelets for Sophie, eyelet count, still 0. I am close to finishing the buttonhole on the yellow, but I didn't pull that out today. I'll show that progress next time.
Well, see, 0 sounds negative. So let's just say the eyelets on Sophie are pending. Because they will be finished. 0. Okay, so I feel so horrible. I told
You're
Jane,
killing me.
I told Jane I'm loving this episode, but I'm not liking that I've got all this to show. But okay. Jane had
please, I'm gonna hang my head in shame.
She worked 14, 15-hour days. I do nothing.
That's not true.
Well,
that's not true.
I am known, like today, to make a housewife sandwich for my husband.
Oh, if you ever have the chance to have one of Julie's housewife sandwiches.
It's just
so good.
I call them a housewife sandwich because it's just on bread and lunch meat and cheese and mayo. It's nothing special, but it's just nothing.
There's another difference between me and Julie. Julie makes the most amazing brownies, for example. They are life-changing brownies. It is not safe for me to be left alone with more than one brownie in the house.
I had 2 marriage proposals over those brownies.
Oh my gosh. So she generously shared the recipe. I couldn't wait to make them. They tasted nothing like Julie's.
Even your husband said so.
Yeah. Oh, Jane, come on over. I'm going to make this new chicken casserole. Life-changing. Can I have the recipe? Sure. No. It's the same with the sandwiches.
It's just a
bread
sandwich
with some mayo, a couple of slices of deli meat,
piece of wrapped cheese. It's nothing.
Yeah,
special.
I mean, you would think, anybody can do that. She makes it amazeballs. I get the exact same bread.
She did.
What brand of lunch meat? The Kraft Real mayo, the whatever. The same cheese.
So usually after we do the video, we have to upload it. First, we have to watch it to make sure we didn't need to redo this, and then we upload it, and then we order something for lunch. But I said to our texter this morning, and I said, "Is it okay if I just bring a couple of housewife sandwiches?"
Yes, please.
Absolutely, so silly. So
and not only a fresh bag of Ripple chips and
Diet Coke, so we're all set. God. Okay, but what I wanted to show was I did do cut work, and I decided to do plain wrapped bars because I think the color of the cluster blocks, I didn't want to be overwhelmed with a real fancy wrap. Plus, I've not done Hardanger in a long time, and it took me some time to get my rhythm down and my tension down, but I just wanted to show the difference between the bars when they're wrapped and the bars when they're not. So we can maybe both do that. See how the bars that are not are the 4 vertical and the 4 horizontal threads that were remaining after we cut.
Almost like tic-tac-toe.
Yep. So this is why I wanted to do the delightful details because we can have a tutorial on cutting. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a scissor. Oh my God.
I might have to be drunk for that tutorial.
No, you do well. Remember all the years ago when we first started, they had Gingers,
Ginger,
Dovos, and a whole bunch of other ones we can't pronounce.
Yep.
And they had a maker of these little white-handled scissors that had since gone out of business. And when I taught when I teach, you may not like Hardanger, so I'm not going to tell you need a $65 pair of scissors. So I found these and I ordered a tremendous amount of scissors and have sold a lot of scissors. And they're my favorite. They're relatively inexpensive. I think they're $12 or $14.
Very sharp.
One that you can have in each stitching bag, like I seem to have done. They have a short blade.
Mm-hmm.
They have a short blade, very sharp,
yeah.
Sharp beyond the tip. They're that sharp, and they're perfect for this. Then I have these pink cap scissors. Now these have a longer blade, but they're very thin blades.
Also very sharp.
And very sharp. And they are great for cutting. And then I have the little petites, like was in Jane's little tin, and they're just they're very sharp as well. They're too small for me to use for Hardanger for my hands, but they are just cute for scissor fobs and tucking in with your little projects. And then I wanted to just show you the tweezers, because you do pull your threads out with a tweezer unless you've got nails like Miss Bella that are long. But these come in a tube. Maybe you could show. There's a tube. And these are flat with a cap. You just pinch and remove it. And then, of course, I put a fob on so you don't lose this little clip.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah. So there are these are the two tweezers that I use in my classes. When I retired, I decided to put all my stuff away for good. So everything had a home, so it didn't look like a wholesale room of merchandise. And putting them away, I thought, I have got so many scissors that I have bought over the years. You're going to have to hand them out.
For me, it's fabric.
You're going to have to hand them out as a lovely parting gift at my funeral, I told you.
Here, everybody, run with them. Julie would have wanted it that way.
So the last show that I did last year, I thought I am going to make use of these by creating little kits. Now, I'm not a cross-stitch designer, so the designs are rather simplistic. But like here is a oval.
I love the colors.
And then the back has, this was fun looking for fabric. The back is floral ribbons.
The ticking
and it comes with the pink scissor. So it's the kit that you have buttons, ruching, ribbon, blah, 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 bing, bang, boom, it's all in there. So I had this one I wanted to show. And then this one is Today I Shall Stitch. And this reminded me of vintage Barbie for some reason. The colors, the pink and the black.
Yeah.
And then the back, I just love the fabric and the thimbles.
The thimbles are great.
And with this one, you don't get a scissor, but you can use any scissor you have, but you get the fob.
Someday we're going to have to talk about your fobs.
Yeah.
The ultimate pinch and grab craft.
That's what destroyed my hands. That was the final.
They are
final bead.
They are fabulous.
But this has a little thimble on it to match that. And I actually used out in Tom's shop, I used the drill press and I drilled the holes in these. I was on a little tiny step stool so I could reach it. And then this one.
I love this one.
Yeah, this
might be my favorite.
Yep, this one you have. This one is a birdhouse and birds. And then the back, this way. And it's got this little butterfly slide charm on. And this scissor is like a hedge trimmer. Not for Hardanger, but it's so cute. So the scissors were kind of a thing. And I kind of had another scissor since we're running with scissors.
Oh, God.
I can't believe I did this. I bought this scissor. And of course I had to make a fob. Because every scissor needs a fob.
Oh my God.
So I thought for running with scissors, really, this is like our mascot, right? Could it be?
It could be our mascot.
But that was just too much fun.
Oh my gosh.
So, oh my gosh, we had okay.
And are all those kits still available on your
Yes,
website?
whatever kits I have left are available on the website. And then everything comes in them. They're mounted on wood, oval or rectangle, and your batting, everything is in there that you need. So, but I just thought, as long as we're talking about scissors here.
Yeah.
So, now we're not even done yet. We're rounding the bend. I am too. That housewife sandwich really better be a good one.
Sounds better all the time.
Delightful deliveries.
Yeah.
I know you were gone for a little bit, but did you get anything?
Of course.
Of course. We had to get something.
I went on a little bit of a Plum Street binge, and I picked up Plum Street Autumn Gifts.
Ooh, isn't that pretty?
Yeah, I loved the colors. And the verse says, every good and perfect gift is from above. And I love that.
Very nice.
Yeah. And then this one really caught my eye. This one was called Blackberry House. I loved the colors.
Is it a fountain or is it just a planter?
It's a planter. And then there's a little like stone
very
birdhouse.
Nice. I like that.
This might have to be, I can't start another thing, can I?
Well, if I'm summoned to have multiple works in progress, whips, why do you get off?
Well, maybe one of your next visits we can dig through the fabric drawer.
Yes.
And find something for that. And then I love sheep. Obviously, I'm obsessed with shepherd's bush. And this one really caught my eye.
Very nice. Is that stitched with, raven black? Cool.
Yeah, and I picked up a floss from the evertote.com, a Leo and Roxy raven color that's kind of iridescent. You know how crows and ravens, they've got that little bit of iridescence in it?
Oh, this is what you'll use it for.
Maybe we'll have to look to see. Maybe even just, like the lettering, maybe not the sheep itself. And I also was drawn to it because it's a black sheep.
Well, we both are black sheeps in our family.
Yeah.
That's special, I think.
Yeah, more special, all right. And then I was watching Flosstube Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, and she had questions about the kind of hoop that she uses, and she shared that she uses this kind of hoop that instead of the knobs has
Watch out on the black, or you turn it, or the white one.
Yeah.
Whiteboard.
That it's got this little tension clip
that you just pull
so
down.
you can pull it with one. I can't because I have no
do
strength in my hands, but you can pull it down
and
it releases the tension, and then she can actually do it one-handed.
Oh.
Not me. But we thought we would try it, so we each got one, and we got it from Anthem Fabrics.
Mm-hmm. Etsy.
Yep. Yeah. And then
I spy with my little eye.
Yeah, and then Elaine, you left a comment on one of the last videos about you wanted me to get over my shame and show some of my fabric.
This was
I pulled
fun.
a few.
Yeah.
I pulled a few.
We had quite the day yesterday.
Yeah, I felt ashamed.
Well, not ashamed.
But
no.
This is Seraphim 40 count Boston.
Look it's just kind of smoky.
It's like a
beautiful.
greenish gray. And it's got some nice
the board, and I can hold it closer. Shall I try?
Sure.
Try to see if that helps to go closer. Look at how it's modeled like that. Oh, I'm like, seriously, it was just
Okay, and then remember how you mocked me because you said you can keep track in the selvage or whatever, and I wanted to write in the selvage with a Sharpie, and you were like, who does that?
They do.
Sharpie.
But you wanted to do it on a piece that was already cut and you were working on. This is for their inventory.
Salvage.
Oh.
Clearly was stated salvage.
We have to go back and roll the
I
tape.
stand vindicated. Victory is mine. And this is another seraphim. This is 40 count bee's knees. And this is a beautiful, beautiful color.
Oh,
Beautiful
that it
color.
is.
Yeah.
So this is how naive I am. Seraphim isn't the name of the color. It's the manufacturer
and the dyer.
All right. Seraphim hand-dyed fabrics by Lori. Beautiful work.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one's called the Bee's Knees. I love the
that
names, don't you?
I do. I have quite a few more
yeah.
seraphims in
Yes.
the drawer.
But we picked the ones that made us
variety.
really go, oh, and then
Yeah.
we put that on the
And
pile.
then I think I mentioned my Picture This Plus binge. So this is 40 count Picture This Plus Valor.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Love it.
Now that's dyed on both sides differently, correct? Is that what we decided?
It's stamped on both sides.
Yeah.
So
Which Country Vintage Mocha is just stamped on one side. These are just beautiful.
yeah, I love them.
I'm like, even if
no
you
idea.
don't know what you're going to stitch on them,
I have no
we
clue.
just had so much fun just like touching them and, you know, it was like, oh, look at this.
That just got a little creepy, I have to say.
But you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Please tell me you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, Julie. This is 40 count dwarf.
Oh, and she only bought that because it's blue.
I only bought it because it's blue.
There were a
That
lot
is
of blue
correct.
fabrics in that drawer.
What can I say?
Yeah.
And this is Picture This Plus.
She's the only
Legacy.
one I know who has to look beyond her glasses through
I
her
could
clothes.
stitch over 56 count with a human hair
Yeah.
over one
without glasses.
without my glasses. But I cannot take a shower without somebody saying this is the sham, because I'm legally blind without my glasses, except for weird
Yeah.
thing like this. And this is 40 count Legacy by Picture This Plus.
Oh, it's just beautiful.
Love it. And then I also am finding I have quite an addiction to needle and flax. Rachel is the dyer, and she does beautiful work. And this is 32 count Walnut Grove, Minnesota, Little House on the Prairie.
Yep.
Look how beautiful
Oh, it is.
that is. And the thing that's great is on her package, she includes a little story about why it was named the way it was. So she's got a little story about Walnut Grove, Minnesota, and Laura Ingalls Wilder, and the television show, and it's great.
That's our state. For those of you who don't know, we're
Yep.
from Minnesota.
Land of 10,000 Lakes.
Yep. And
And-
lefse. Lots of lefse. We'll have to make lefse.
Lutefisk.
Oh, no.
This is 40 count Pickwick. Now, I was an English major in college, and my favorite authors are Charles Dickens and John Steinbeck. And Charles Dickens wrote a novel called The Pickwick Papers. And so this is Pickwick. Just a beautiful, kind of steely gray.
Yes, it is.
And she tells a story about Charles Dickens.
Dickens.
Oops.
Are we going to edit? No.
I can't edit. So she tells a story about the Pickwick Papers.
Well,
And Charles
I should
Dickens.
get that fabric just so I can be smart and learn all these things.
Yeah, I'll quiz you after. And then this one is called 40 count Eastwick. And this kind of blew my mind.
Yeah. As much as it's overwhelmingly, I'll use the word splotchy because it looks splotchy.
It's modeled.
It is
It's beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's a glimpse
A glimpse.
at my stash. Maybe more to come.
Now, if you
depending
looked
on
at
if you
my
like it or not.
stash, it would be cream, ecru, off-white, white, country vintage mocha, natural.
Yeah.
I'm not very,
And
and I've got a lot of it, but it's just
I like
very,
color. And I was told my entire life, you're like a more ample size girl. So you maybe should think about not, dressing in bright colors and bold prints and stuff. And I was like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Like, here we go.
Well, and you're a photographer, so you see color. I see texture. Texture is my thing. Texture's my jam, as the kids say nowadays.
The lingo. Learn the lingo.
You have color because of your photography, which is an amazing photographer. So
color and texture. For about 10 years, I did nothing but black and white photography, and that was more about light and texture. But then when I picked up my first digital camera, I realized I could have both.
Mm-hmm.
And you take it in color, and then through the magic of Photoshop, you can turn it into black and white. And when I first started doing digital photography, I would import all my photos, and then I would automatically turn them all to black and white. And one of my teachers slapped my hands, and he's like, "No,
can't do that.
Those days are over. You have to make a decision per individual image." And I found I was really drawn to color.
Yeah.
And because of the style of photography, selective focus and very shallow depth of field, there's not really a lot of detail, and it's all about the color.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm drawn. What about your
Beautiful.
delightfuls?
My delightful deliveries? Well, I'm just charted. I just got charts. Of course. Yeah, you can see this one.
Wow.
Can I keep them? Do we have our lighting better where I should take them out?
I think, yeah, if you tip them down. Yeah. Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Sweet Wing Studio. I've never heard of that designer.
I bought a couple of hers, but I only brought these to share. Now I'll do the others on the next video. Even though it's just cross stitch, the if you can see, the stitch pattern is so cool.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, they're just little waves of
oh wow.
Isn't that cool?
That is really cool.
So I've got to do that with my Americana. I don't know what
Yeah.
fabric I'll do it on. It won't be 40 count. No, it won't be.
Maybe we can find something in the stash.
And then this one. Is that not so cute this way?
And it's starting to be the season when we start thinking about
Now
stitching for fall.
this
and
is
Halloween.
all stitched. This is a full
coverage?
coverage. Yeah. You know, so what? She's got it on 35 count linen over 2. Oh, here, shall I do this over 1?
Yeah.
They're just so cute. There's just something about it
it's
that
so
just
great.
makes me smile. Maybe I'll just frame the picture. You know.
Save yourself some agony.
And then, of course, Brenda Gervais. I bought the whole series of these little fellas. Aren't they cute?
Yeah. I love the houndstooth plaid.
I know, because that's just so
Yeah.
fashionable. And then a folk art sampler by Imaginating, Diane Arthurs. It's just
It's perfect.
sampler.
It's a perfect sampler.
And
Oh my gosh.
I did accidentally order 2 of these. Wasn't checking my quantities in my cart, so I gave you yours yesterday. But I told her she will most likely stitch it in blue.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say folk art red.
No, it's
You know,
not a
that's
red
the law,
sampler.
right? If it says red in the title, you have
So
to stitch it in
I chose, let me see, what did they stitch it in? They stitched it in, oh, I didn't write this down, of course. Oh, they stitched it in my favorite DMC, 498.
dark red.
But I chose Turkish Weeks.
Oh, it's a beautiful color red.
I think that'll be nice. I have a red sampler over my...
Oh, it's got some nice variegation.
Yeah, I thought it had some real nice variegation in it.
And of course you have to do a matching
Oh, and my little
fob.
red fob, bobble, my floss bobble.
Oh, that's great.
I've got that red sampler I did 100 years ago over my settee in my living room.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, what am I going to do with all of these? I stitch with a purpose, so it's got to go someplace. I decided to put that whole little small wall, red samplers. Yeah. Think that'd be okay?
That'll be awesome.
So I have to finish several of them before I can. I'm not just going to have this huge one and then one up here. So I'll have to do a couple of them and get them framed so I can, well, that's another day. Okay, then I didn't show Jane this because I was on Etsy and
Etsy is a very wonderful and dangerous place.
I had an afternoon to myself, 2 of them, as you can tell. And oh my gosh.
Lord have mercy.
I know. It's by Doreen Jones. It's a sunflower pin cushion pot that has Hardanger and cross stitch. It is, I just am like, okay, put that in my cart and I'm going to know my credit card number by her.
It's so will they.
Yeah, it's a 30.
It's Julie again.
It's a 20 page color printout. So I can't. Can I show? I don't know what I can show.
I'm not really sure with Hardanger, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not going to show you the pattern, but it's very explicit, which really warmed my heart.
Yeah.
To see someone put so much detail into it, especially if someone's going to buy it and not know Hardanger. The instructions are very, very detailed.
And the charts are really well done.
Yeah, and as you leaf through it, well, as you can tell by the pattern itself, the inside panels are stitched and outside panels all the way around are stitched, and then she shows you how to put them all together and finish the bottom with printed cotton fabric. So I was at the store the other day I had just come from printing this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I found blues, this color blue, I think it's 932, so that's a beautiful blue.
Oh, I love that blue.
And I found some yellows, so of course I bought like several yards of fabric, and again, all we need is a 6-inch piece. But I thought, oh, we've got to do that. So
you never know.
That was my delightful download, and I stopped at 1 because I just need to get some control. So what do you think?
I think it's awesome. I can't wait to see it done.
And my bin is empty. Our table is unbelievably chaos
as usual.
I think we've covered everything. So now that we had this 3-week reprieve, 3-week, if I had it written down, I'd know what I was saying without sounding like a dope. So didn't we discuss that we're going to try our hardest to come back in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
But if you subscribe and
hit notifications,
hit the bell. We are going to have a little delightful detail of some sort.
Or delirious details. Depends on the day.
It may be Jane stitching with me doing the photography. Almighty. If I'm having a shaky hand day, it may be me stitching. And
thoughts and prayers, everyone. Please send them my way.
But we'll have fun.
We will have fun.
And in 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So
we'll do it.
Take it away.
All right. So thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us. We hope you'll join us next time in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
And until then, nothing but the best for all of you. Lots of health and happiness and the abundance of all things that make you happy. And until we see you again in a couple of weeks, take care.
Yes.
And happy stitching, everybody.
Thank you so much.